Well, it's another intense season of The Wheel of Time, and we originally don't know that much about Dane Bornhold's backstory, other than sort of he has this, penchant for drinking. What kind of
Yeah.
information were you initially provided about him?
Wow. Yeah. When I got cast, I knew very little. I mean, the whole auditioning process was very secretive, and I think I read for a couple of different characters. I had no idea who I was reading for. And then when I finally found out who I was playing, I got cast. That's when I started doing a kind of deep dive. I think I was scouring the internet for any information I could find. And there was a lot of good resources online, actually. I spent a lot of time on Reddit, and there's a lot of YouTube stuff and various kind of Wheel of Time fandom websites that had a lot of helpful information. I read a lot of summaries of because I hadn't read the books, so I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. So yeah, I was lucky though. I got cast, and I think I had a good 2 or 3 months before I was needed in Prague. So I had a lot of time to do as much research as I could. And then when I arrived in Prague, I spoke to Rafe, and we had a really good chat about everything. And yeah, it was a lot at first just to get used to this world and understand how it all works and get an understanding of all of the various characters. And yeah, I just built them from the ground up then. I'm lucky in the sense that, a lot is kind of unsaid and he's quite mysterious. It kind of gave me the freedom to bring a lot of my own ideas forward. Um, the biggest thing at the start, I think, was the voice, was finding the right voice for Dane. I really didn't figure that out until very close to shooting. I remember a frantic kind of last session with my dialect coach that I go to, Jerry Grinnell, and we were trying out a lot of different stuff, and thankfully it clicked days before the first day on camera. But yeah, it was there was a lot of reading involved and just getting to understand who this guy was for sure.
We know that the season finds Dane and his fellow White Cloak soldiers, seeking Perrin for retribution for his father's death. To what ends will he go to get this vengeance?
I think that's the scary thing, isn't it? Vengeance is it can do a lot to a man, especially Dane. I think when we find him in season three, we're finding a very different man than we were introduced to in season two. I think the death of his father, Jeffrem, has really had an impact on him, and yeah, he's hitting the bottle. That's now becoming a thing. Um, and yeah, I think it was exciting for me to come back to Dane this season after the events of the finale because I really wanted to show how much this has affected him. Um, I think it's the interesting thing about Dane as a character compared to the other Children of the Light. He kind of in season two he has a good kind of moral compass about him. I don't think he's as ruthless as the Questioner certainly, but the other children, I think he all he knows is this world that he's been a part of since he was a kid. He's always wanted to make his father proud, but he's always tried to do things his way and not be kind of pulled aside by the likes of Valda, who is very ruthless and doesn't need much convincing to kill witches. Dane, I think he tries to do things in a just way. But now when we meet him in season three and after losing his father, I definitely think he's been a little bit corrupted and he's starting to do things that are out of character for him. Obviously, we can see that he's taken Natty and the kids as his prisoner to try and get some information. So yeah, I think he's willing to go to some dark places to avenge his father. Yeah.
The Dragon Reborn seems to be even like a less focus for him.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
so,
I don't think that's even on his radar. I think
right?
when he's not drinking, he's thinking about Perrin. When he's not thinking about Perrin, he's trying to find Perrin. I think, it's his number one priority is to bring this guy to justice. And because it's the interesting kind of change, I think, from the books that's made this very exciting for me in particular. I think the fact that Perrin actually did kill Jeffrem, as opposed to in the books, and right in front of Dane. I think it sets him off on this wild goose chase, and has just become obsessive to him. Um, so yeah, I don't think the Dragon Reborn is is crossing his mind too much. It's all about Perrin.
I was gonna say, it's it's not even a looming fear to him at this point.
No,
It's the greater priority to him.
it's almost like his mission in life has always been to serve the children, which I think he's still doing at the bare minimum. But all he wants is to use the people at his disposal, his men, to go and find Perrin. That is what he needs doing. He wants Perrin to face justice, and he's gonna take up from where his father left off, and yeah, make it happen.
As Trollocs are also an ever-going enemy here, and going into this season, how did your training for stunts and such change than previous seasons?
Yeah, well, the stunt work is a big factor on this job. The Filmca Czech stunt team that we work with, they're incredible. Um, and yeah, there will be, I'm sure we will see some action with Dane in the coming episodes, and that did take a lot of prep. Seeing the Trollocs on set in costume is quite scary. They when they're in their full costume and they're coming for you, it's there's no acting required. It's an intimidating image coming for you. But yeah, we're very lucky to have a lot of time to prepare. It's just getting used to working with the stunt guys who are on stilts. They actually wear stilts on their feet to give them the height when they're in the Trolloc costume. So you're battling with these 7, 8 foot creatures. And yeah, it takes a lot of time to make sure you're not going to hurt anyone.
I was
you
just
know,
gonna say, or knock them down at this point.
it's mental. Yeah, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's one of the parts of this job that I really enjoy is the physical stuff. Um, so yeah, we'll see how it materializes. But yeah, there was a lot of preparation involved for sure.
With familiar faces finally meeting one another, were you hoping or looking forward to sharing a scene with someone in particular this season?
Yeah, look, the actors on this show are incredible. Everyone is just so good, and it doesn't matter who you're in a scene with. You're working with really talented actors, and across the board, the crew are incredible. The directors, it's just an absolute joy. There is one character in particular, that Dame will come across at some point, and that was a lot of fun for me. I won't say too much, but I can say that working with Abdul, who plays Valda, is a joy. I love him to bits. He's such a gorgeous human being and talented actor. The biggest problem with him is just not laughing in between takes. He's so high energy and so different from who he's playing. But yeah, the biggest issue with him is keeping a straight face. And yeah, obviously working with Marcus. I mean, the whole Darren, I'm saying Dane and Perrin arc has been very exciting for me. And yeah, I think when they hopefully cross paths in this season, fans can expect a bit of a showdown, which was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, that's an epic tease.
I'd love to tell you. I'm dying to tell anyone. But yeah, it's so hard to know how much I can say these days. I'm not used to keeping secrets like this.
I was going to ask what scene challenged you or one that you're most proud of the work you put into, but maybe it is that secret moment we can't talk about.
Yeah, that moment. What I can say is episode 7. It's titled Golden Eyes. You can kind of guess where it's going. Fans of the book will know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I think I'm most proud of that episode. I think this whole season across the board, everyone has done an incredible job. I can definitely say, in my opinion, it's the strongest season the show has produced yet. And yeah, I was a part of some stuff in episode 7 that was so ambitious, and I've never been a part of anything like it before. Everyone worked so hard, and yeah, I really hope fans will enjoy it because we really enjoyed making it.
With such intense scene work, how do you all shake off a long day of being on set?
After a long day of being on set, sleep. The most boring answer for you, but yeah, sleep. When you get back, especially if you're doing an action scene and you're shooting for hours and hours, doing the same moves over and over again. Your muscles take a hammering. So you get back to your place and lay the head on the pillow and just try and get your 8 hours before doing it all over again the next day. We're very lucky to shoot in beautiful Prague, so if time allows, we'll get out there and go for some nice walks and eat some good food. And but yeah, the most important thing is to just try and sleep.
What does it mean to you then to be a part of this iconic series?
Oh, it means the world, you know. I think as an actor, when I first started out, all I ever wanted to do was just work, you know, and if I was lucky enough along the way to work with great directors and great actors, that was a bonus. But to be a part of a show like this is I just feel very, very lucky, you know, when we step onto these sets that are, you know, everything is built, everything's in front of you. There's no minimal blue screen, green screen stuff. It's just like the ultimate playground. You know, you feel like a kid all over again, playing dress up, and yeah, it's been an amazing experience being a part of the show. And has definitely I've learned so much from being a part of the show, and um, yeah, just that's the word that comes to mind. Just grateful.
What's next for you? What have you been busy working on lately?
I'm back in Dublin at the moment. I'm doing a show called The Walsh Sisters for the BBC and RTE. It's a Marion Keyes adaptation. She has a series of books written about the Walsh family, and I'm playing a guy called Luke Costello. So it's we're halfway through shooting now. I think it should be out this year at some point. So that's what's been keeping me busy.
Does that mean you've been able to sleep in your own bed and see your
It sure
family?
does. It sure does, which is a rare treat. It's been a lovely shooting in Dublin and
Getting
getting
to see
into my
your
own bed
mom and
every night.
dad?
Yeah, yeah, it's great, and it's it's a good time of year here. The weather's starting to improve. I'm playing a lot of golf, which is another thing I like to do to relax. If I'm not working, I'm on a golf course. That's usually how it goes. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm again very lucky to be working with a very talented group of people, and yeah, I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be great.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible work you do on our screen? They'll send you fan art, they send you fan theories. It's just incredible the dedication.
Yeah, they're
So,
incredible. Yeah, Twitter is an amazing place for this show. There's a lot of very dedicated fans on there. All I can say is thank you. You know, from the minute I was announced as being a part of the show, everyone's been so lovely and so supportive, and because you do feel the weight of being a part of a show like this. You know, these books mean a lot to a lot of people, and these characters mean a lot to a lot of people. So you definitely feel that responsibility, and that's been a new kind of experience for me. But yeah, I'm just filled with gratitude at the love I've received. I'm delighted that people love the show and maybe love to hate Dane or hate to love Dane. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just very appreciative of all of the very positive comments. It does mean a lot to us.